This nigga Future got me right.
Mm. I gotta start listening to Tim. Her voice is angelic. Where Drake be finding these niggas? Where Drake be finding these UK niggas? He ain't.
That nigga be hiding in my back,
What?
exploiting them. That nigga got a warehouse of niggas. You gonna be happy with that check, nigga.
Where Drake be finding these niggas? Still sick about Georgia though. I would be sick. Play that nigga.
That nigga was in Jaded hurt.
I would
Hurt.
have been hurt too.
Jaded.
I be hurt
Yeah,
too.
We
bro.
could have
No.
waited. That nigga said we could have waited. Difference in ages.
That nigga was hurt.
No.
That nigga was hurt. I was like, wow. Usually Drake, it's the other way around. You was really hurt.
I wonder who he be talking about when he was like, I got a kid now and all this other shit. He be saying the same person. I wonder who he be talking about, bro. It's like, got a
Bro.
kid now, blah, blah, blah. He be saying that shit all the time. Nigga said, you hanging out with Kiki. I wonder who the fuck is he talking about?
This is a code word. You know, that's everybody. They know. And Kiki.
It's like, who is Kiki?
Kiki. Who is that? No name.
Man, Jack Harlow better push his shit for a couple months.
He's over. I know he mad as fuck.
Cause still coming
Damn.
out too, bro. It's bad for him. It's bad for
Damn.
him.
He in between Jack in between Future and Kendrick. It's bad.
Future, Kendrick, Thug.
It's
See ya.
bad.
And then when the album dropped, the only song I'm listening to is that Drake bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm skipping everything.
He better come with it. You already know that's gonna be Drake's song.
I'm in tears, bro.
Week
99%. It was the laptop, y'all.
Hey, we got an A+ grade, Dre. By the way.
Yeah,
On
we're
PFF?
gonna talk about it. Most of this stuff. That's why I gotta like get in here like this week and plan some stuff out. But most of the stuff is pretty easy this week.
Hey, you need us any any ideas and segment tips or anything?
I mean, yeah, I mean the schedule is like pretty much open for the next like few weeks. So if there's anything like you guys want to do a legislature on, obviously if it's like a movie or something like that, we might have to push it out. Or like if it's like a series, we might have to push it out. But the schedule's open, so if there's anything anyone wants to do, because I don't want to like get into this like trap of just like talking about football all the time.
Yeah, no,
It's
me
kind of
too.
like prime right now because of the draft, but
Yeah, me too.
um, but yeah, that'll be the main thing today. It shouldn't be too much. Let me flip this.
For sure. I want to do a. I don't know. Not episode recap. It's hard, bro. That Obi-Wan shit gonna be fire. I'm telling y'all.
Like a week by week type
Yeah, we
thing.
could do a week
Yeah.
by week on that. Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Because I think they do it on
Or like we low key could do like a Moon Knight recap. Add that in there.
Yeah. All right. Episode 13.
And we should probably do an update. Are we still doing that? Are we trying? The
The
issue
comic?
for the month? Yeah.
Yeah, I do want
Probably
to
do
get
an
back
update.
to that.
Yeah, we should probably do an update on it too.
We can probably just do that alongside the show, like finish up
Yeah.
that run.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, sound good.
All right. And we're back with episode 13 of the Brochure List. Thank you everyone for returning. Hopefully everyone's having a good one. The weather's been nice, even though,
Man.
some spring showers, but, I like when it rains. I'm not gonna lie a little bit. I like
It's
a little
therapeutic.
bit of rain. Yeah.
It's therapeutic when you sleep. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be like, now I be gone out.
That's that's the worst thing because it rains a lot in Oregon, but it never thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms. It's
Yeah,
like I need to start listening to the tracks, like thunderstorm tracks when I go to bed and stuff like that. I usually just listen to like lo-fi music, but I should listen to like some rain noise or something.
it's like low key, like kind of soothing, like in a way. As long as it's not like, but like it's like in the background where you can kind of just like the little
Right.
rumbles. Like yeah, so yeah, but it's starting to get warm now. It's summertime, y'all.
Man, I'm
Michigan had about
excited.
Michigan had about 6 months of winter, bro.
Bro,
We went to
Crazy.
we Go ahead, Dabs.
my allergies are already on tip, bro. It's bad.
I was like, do I got COVID again, bro? I thought I had COVID,
Bro, I don't know.
bro.
I'm like, man, what? Maybe I got to take one of these at-home tests right now, bro. I'm like, man.
I was at
And
I was
like,
at, I was at work and my customers were like, "Are you sick?" I'm like, "No, I have allergies like a motherfucker. It's bad. It's about to get real bad." So
we've been so sheltered inside too for like 2 years now, so our bodies ain't really like ready to like deal with this at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I be having to take allergy medicine with my dog because then he get bad allergies too.
Bro, and allergy season ain't never really affected me, but I guess now it's just like, my nose stopped up, and I'm like, bro, what's going on?
woke up,
It,
mucus just built up. I'll be like, "God damn."
it probably wasn't as bad for you like in your first few years in Michigan because it's not as bad as in the South. The pollen shouldn't probably be, but then after you
Hmm.
kind of get used to being in Michigan,
Yeah,
that's why I'm worried about
yeah.
moving to DC. I know it's gonna whoop my ass. I know they got way more pollen than they do here.
They got a whole bunch of them trees.
Yeah. So I got a little warm up today though, and this is a quick one. If you could be, I'll do two separate questions. The first one would be, if you could be reincarnated, but you didn't know what you were gonna be, would you rather be a sea animal or an animal that can fly?
See,
Like, like, imagine me an eagle. Eagles are huge. Obviously, like, we don't know what we're gonna be, but the chance that I become an eagle or like a hawk, I'm flying everywhere.
bro,
Flying
the
everywhere,
ocean
bro.
is sweet though.
It's vast, bro. But I mean, like, what if you like,
You could end up like a starfish.
yeah,
Fine, bro.
or he could be like an anemone. He could be an anemone. That's a living
Right,
organism.
just chilling, bro.
He's just chilling there the whole time, watching the earth slowly pollute in the ocean. He's just chilling the whole time.
Bro, but as an eagle, your life in danger. Your life in danger. But like,
Like it's
Aren't
very,
eagles out of danger now?
I don't think they really killing eagles like that though. Like eagles big.
I think
okay, so
they're game off the endangered list.
you
I
top
don't,
of the food chain, right? That's what you want to be is top of the food chain.
bro,
Okay, then I want to
fly.
be an orca.
I just want to
You can't
fly,
find me.
bro. The likelihood that I could become like a big old
Yeah.
eagle just flying.
Even like being bottom tier of like just the ability to fly would be fun. Like even if I'm a
Yeah,
robin
I
or
could
like
go anywhere.
or like a crow or something like that. Like as opposed to if I'm like a average ass fish, I would much rather be an average bird than an average fish.
Cause like, bro, like if you like a sea animal, you can really pretty much only go anywhere unless you're like a sea lion, like a penguin or sea lion. Like you just staying in the water. Like if I'm a bird, like I might like if I'm want to get some fish or something, I can dive right through the water, come right back up. I can fly anywhere. I mean, I can go anywhere I want.
I think my thought process is I'm away from human beings. That's what I think my process is. Like in the ocean, like niggas ain't out there, bro. So like
They
no,
is, they
they
are.
is, but they not like if you were like a cardinal in Michigan somewhere, like you more
Who eat? Who eat cardinals? Like
It's
what's
not.
an
It's not
animal?
eating cardinals. I'm just saying, like pollution. You feel me? What's the time frame? Is it like right after you die, like you just come back to Earth that
Yeah,
day?
pop up. So, and let's say you live a
You just
80-year life and like what 55 more years or whatever that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, you fucked as a bird. You are fucked. You're fucked.
You think it's
I
better to
don't
be
know,
in the
man.
water? You don't think BP gonna drop another one on you, bro?
Right, the oil spill. Like, bro,
The
like I
water
said,
vast.
you could be okay. So what you gonna do? You like a little krill or something? You done? You done for? You done for in the sea world, and you done for in the human world. You done for.
Oh, no, I like
It's funny you say that though about the pollution because I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story that I posted the other day, that TikTok, and the guy was pretty much saying like no one would swim in a pool with a dead person in it, like obviously. But there's dead people in the ocean, so he's like,
Right.
there's a water to dead person ratio that you're okay with like swimming in,
Yeah,
which is
swimming by a dead
wild.
body.
Like if someone said like, all right, would you like go into Lake Michigan if you know there's like a dead body like floating in it 100 meters away, like, and it just stayed there, like, would you go swimming in Lake Michigan?
Y'all make me think about the mango shit when they dip the mango in the water.
Oh,
Right.
right, bro.
That
What
shit
you
is
say?
gross. I don't care what
I'm
nobody
like,
says.
what
Isn't
made
it
her do
salt
that?
water? It
They
can't
said
taste
she said
good.
that Rihanna did it, so she had to do it to see how it tastes. She said it was amazing.
Yeah.
I said, what?
That mango did look like it was good though. I ain't gonna lie.
Like it was busting, but salt water, bro. We got the well poop water and pee and
That's what I'm saying, bro. When I'm swimming and shit like that, I just be trying not to think about what's in this water because it's a lot of shit in the water. For real. Like, I be thinking about it like, this is gross. I know this
when you
person.
was a kid, you was having a time of your life. You was,
I
you
was
was
like, this shit great.
like,
Then you get older, you be thinking like, hold on
like,
now.
hold on, in this water. Little kid next to me, possibly could be peeing. I got the fish in here. They peeing. They doing their thing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, give me flight.
Like the lake water is so nasty, bro. Like we about to be on the lake soon because it's about to be late season. Like what is it, Sylvan Lake or whatever, bro. That shit. Well, that water is gross. That water is so nasty. It's so nasty.
Yeah, you got it, bro. You got it. The air ain't look. I'm breathing it in.
It just go out to
Fresh
space, bro.
air.
That's how it work, right? All the bad air just go out to space, right? That's what like Marjorie Taylor Greene would say or some shit.
Right.
And
Yeah, bro.
she's still under trial, right? For
I seen something
inciting.
like that. It's so crazy how
treason.
they try. It's so crazy how like she tried to. I've seen like some clips how she tried to act like stupid. Like I didn't say that. Then they pull out the receipts. Like, yeah, you did. Like, I guess I did say that.
Dog, people voted for her. That is wild. Like the intellectual like floor, like because when you think of like don't get me wrong, I think we all think that there's a lot of really dumb politicians in the world, but like when you think of a politician, like you think that they have to have like some like mental like capability, like god damn, like bottom of the barrel, like she's like a QAnon person.
Yeah, she's crazy. People so crazy.
All right. If you, I guess, all right, so let's say you could be reincarnated as anything you wanted.
Anything.
What would you pick?
A human.
Like another human,
You pick another human?
Yes.
bro.
I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
We're really fortunate to be like where we are because you could really get reincarnated into like a shitty situation really quick.
Like, what if you end up like in a slum and like,
Right, bro.
like you in like if you in North Korea, bro, you got a picture of Kim Jong Un just right there. You got to pray to him every day. Like, nah, bro.
Next thing you know, you pour in a favela and Dom and the Rock crashing through your through your house.
We're really
No.
fortunate to live over here like this normally.
Bro,
God.
I don't think I'm not gonna be as quick to say human either. I'm probably gonna do like some animal.
I'm curious
or something,
of the
or a
percentage
plant,
of
a tree.
yeah, I'm curious of the percentage of us that like live like I wonder like where the line is where I would like stop saying I was a human and how many humans are above that line. Like obviously like most of the US, most of Europe, like a decent part of like parts of like Asia. Like there's parts of like China that I would like be fine being reincarnated in over an animal, but then there's also like half of it that I might not be.
The slums.
It almost seems like a 50-50
Nasty.
shot, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
nasty, bro, nasty. And our hood, look, like our ghettos and hoods, not even that. They like worse over there.
I don't know what I would be. I'd have to.
Well, it's like you being an animal. It's like you're not gonna really.
I think I would be
No.
like some type of bird of prey.
You're not gonna as an animal. You're not gonna know. Like a human, like oh, I mean, like you're not. I mean, like you're not gonna know as a human either. Like oh, dang, it's gonna be a new life. But like reincarnated as a human, you got to deal with this again, life.
The reason I picked these like sea animals, bro, because they smart, bro. Like the second smartest one is like orca, dolphin. Like at least I'll have some consciousness. Like
I mean, like all animals have some level of intelligence, right?
I want to be
Like
like,
it's
if
not
I'm an
like
animal
they
though,
not
like if I'm
us.
a, there's a lot of apex predators that like, even though they're apex predator, like life isn't easy, and I don't want to be one of those. I don't know, like if orcas be fighting each other, because I'm really not trying to be fighting with you, bro. Like all the
I don't
time,
think they really
like
do.
like hippos. Hippos are like top of the chain, but they be fighting with each other all the time. Like even though no one can like below them can beat them, and they aren't really at risk from much other stuff, maybe besides like
You
a
gotta
few
assert
like
your dominance.
poachers.
I don't
But
know.
like
Orcas supposed
they
to be
be
family oriented. They got like a whole family structure. You
They
know.
probably don't be fighting each other like that. I would like they be sticking together and all that. I would. They be ganging people up, bro. I don't think they maybe, but I don't think they be really be
I
scrapping
don't
each
know if
other
I
like
want to
that.
be under the water, bro. Honestly.
Why?
Because like it's relative, right? Because like to them, like that's normal, but knowing what like the sun looks like and stuff like that, I don't know if I want to live in the
Yeah,
water,
bro.
bro.
You never gonna see the sun. You just gonna see like it beaming through the water. You're like, dang, what's that thing right there? And you're gonna
You
try
can
to
jump
swim
up.
to it,
You
and
can
you can
jump up a
never.
little bit. Do a little flip.
For 1 second of sunlight. Yeah, give me the fly. Like back to the last question. Give me the flying. I'd rather be a woodpecker or a robin or an eagle. Give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
gotta be top tier,
I
bro.
can. I can't even. Yeah, yeah. I would. If I would. I would be. I wouldn't want to be an animal if I got reincarnated. I would want to be an animal. No, I can't do a human.
You could just get really lucky. Like part of me is like, because then also like you take on like the consciousness of this being, and like if you get really lucky and you like a dog in like a suburban household, like you are golden, bro. Like you got it made. You ain't got
But you
nothing to
could be
worry
a street
about.
dog in the middle of
You could,
fucking.
you could. But then you a wild animal at that point. You know different than what you was gonna choose regardless, right? Depending on where you live. Like if you like in an urban area, you gonna be eating garbage. But like if you live in a, like if you live like an African wild dog, then like you rolling with a pet.
Yeah,
Reincarnate me rich somewhere.
you're gonna be in the slums.
Nah.
You gotta work. You
Born
gotta work
rich.
because you the money man
Privileged.
now. You the money man. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. No, that chance of just of being in the slum,
Way
or it's
higher.
a chance I could be really rich. Not taking that chance of being
But
in
the
the slum.
chance is like
That
point
chance is even
eight.
smaller. Yeah, that's
Right.
like that's
Point
like a
eight. If you
percent of a
pick,
percent. Like
Yeah.
I'll take my chances. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Give me an animal, bro. Let me be free. No rules. Let me be free.
yeah, I'm picking animal too for sure. Speaking of being reincarnated as like someone rich, I guess we'll head into another segment. And this is the first time we're gonna do this, and we're gonna send them to Mars. Send them to Mars. Elon Musk is buying Twitter for what, $40 billion? 40 some odd billion dollars?
44.
44.
Dog
44
is
bid.
buying a social media because he was getting bullied on that bitch, bro.
God, he got too much money, bro. That's too much money.
He got
The
a
funny
lot of
thing is, he
money,
said
bro.
cash too, like cash.
Yeah,
Liquid
bro,
cash.
it's crazy because like you know how when people are always like tax the rich, woo woo, woo, like all the people that are like defending the rich people are like, it's not like their money's just cash. They can't just go like break it off to the government, this, that, and the other. Like, bro, what do you like? Do you think he just like traded it, like bartered this $40 million or $40 billion? Like, no, he went and sold his equity that he had in other things, probably primarily Tesla, and then bought it. Like, they can liquidize this money. Like,
Bro, what's Twitter about to turn into, bro?
I think it's
Man.
gonna die, bro. I think it's gonna die.
No,
Hopefully.
not after 10 years, bro. I'm
It's
an
a perfect
OG.
time.
I'm an
It's a perfect time
OG.
for a second social media platform to come out. Perfect time. If I really could develop just a second Twitter, this would be perfect. This would be a perfect time.
It's gonna. There's
Look
no
at
way.
Twitter,
Like,
bro.
there's no way it doesn't like die off this, bro.
I mean, like you look. I mean, to your point, like you look at it, like we've seen, like at least like each major, social media app have some type of decline, because of I don't know, maybe CEOs, testifying in front of like Congress, and then like or just because of like the services and stuff they provide, like Instagram and Snapchat. We've seen like those major applications like that. So I mean, maybe this is like a trend to where Twitter, might be on the decline a little bit, but I don't know. Twitter's so goated right now, bro. I mean, until like it's official with Elon, I don't know, man. It's just
It's
He
official.
cause like well, the big thing that he's wanted to take it over is I know I said like because he's getting bullied because like it's because he thinks it's like not like free speech on there because like Twitter moderates like obviously what comes on there, like to
yeah.
an extent, um, and it's just like we saw like what was the one we saw like Truth, which is the Trump one, and then there was the other one that started with a P, um, that I can't think of the name of.
I
Um,
seen somebody making one. I don't know what it's called though.
but like if like Twitter like divulged into like this like insane like right wing free speech platform where like people can just like call black people monkeys without like retribution, and you can say all these like racist or homophobic or just in general like toxic things without any type of
Free
repercussions,
speech.
like no one's gonna want to go on the app. Like there's gonna be like a
Nah.
line where it's just like and the app will inevitably die that way. Uh,
It was like,
so
Elon, what you be saying in the background, bro? Why you want free speech so bad?
Wait, is Truth Social the one
Truth
Trump
is
made?
this, yeah, that's the Trump one. There was one right before that. It started with a P that I can't think of the name of. I'm about to look.
Because Truth Social right now for top free apps is number 4 and Twitter number 5.
Yeah, I mean it's probably because all the people are getting on. I mean, if you go on Truth, it's like pretty gross place. Like, there's not much like going on either. Like worth a damn. What was the one called?
Man, Twitter had a good run, y'all.
Oh,
Man,
Parlor. That's what it was called, Parlor. And I went on Parlor one time just like see what it was, and it's really just like an echo chamber of like right wing conservatives, just like talking. When I went on, it was like after the election, so like obviously they're talking about how the election is like all fake and this, that, and the other, and just I mean they could say like racist or whatever things they wanted without any repercussions at all. And inevitably it died because no ads wanted to like be on an app like that. So you don't have users that want to be on an app like that, and then no ads want to be on. As a result of people not wanting to be there, no one wants to associate with your brand. It's just so weird. Why does he want to own it?
bro, he don't got nothing else to do, man.
Like, bro, get a job, bro.
Got nothing else to do, bro. He got all that money. He don't got nothing else to do. Like, bro, you are this bored with life. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
But that's who I was arguing with my friends. Like niggas, bro, people work so much harder than him. Like normal
I
people.
wonder why people just defend. Like, people go to bat for like super rich people that they feel like they can relate to, and I'm like, bro, you cannot relate to them. Like
at all,
they
bro.
will lead, they will screw you over so quick. Cannot relate to them at all. Like, why are y'all going to bat for him? And it's just like and he will turn on you so fast, bro. And then
Like
you'll be like, oh,
I know rich people that work hard, and like I know rich people that work hard, but like to a certain extent, most of the super rich, like elite rich people that they be defending, bro, is like they wake
You
up in the morning
you
probably.
can't work for $1 billion. There's no amount of work that you can do for $1 billion, bro. Like that's like lifetimes and lifetimes of people that would like have to like. And there's not enough time in the world for you to work for $1 billion.
You can have $1 billion idea, like that's something you can do, but like the way Elon be talking, bro, it seemed like he like did it, like he the one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no, you
I
paid an
did this.
engineer.
It's me.
You paid an engineer. He came up with it, and then you made billions off of it because you have ownership rights of something that they came up with.
Yeah,
But that's
bro.
like another conversation.
I just find it very weird that people be like just going hard because they feel like they can relate to him. Like, bro, like, okay, just maybe he talk like you a little bit. Like, that's the only reason you can't relate to him like at all. Like, y'all not even near close to the same tax bracket and had the same conversation. Like, come on now.
You can't fathom. You can't even fathom the amount of money he got. Like you
Right.
can't. You can't fathom it. It's
He
not
works
even.
hard for all his money. Like, you know what? I think he like just
He
had
had
an
an
idea. He
idea.
took
It
it.
was
He
a billion
took
dollar
advantage
idea.
of great idea. But I think he took advantage of a lot of things, and he
The thing is, not a single one of the companies that he's a majority owner in, he came up with. Like, he didn't found Tesla. He didn't found SpaceX. He didn't found, obviously, now Twitter. He didn't found PayPal.
He
bro.
just
I
had a
wonder
money.
what Jack doing, bro. I mean, I know he stepped down, but Jack, how could you co-sign this?
Bro, we need MySpace.
MySpace need to
I
come back.
would go if MySpace was like it was. I would definitely switch over like expeditiously.
Bro, I was never really on MySpace like that. The first social media network I was on was Facebook.
You wow! I had my shit sweet. I had the background
The
sweet.
profiles were fire, bro. Fire.
I had my background sweet. I had my profile picture sweet.
Yeah, you had the whole profile. Like you could change your whole background to your profile, and you could like have like music play when someone came to your profile, and you could have obviously there's like the top friends list that people would always talk about. You had your top friends. You could like set how high you want it to go. Like it goes like low as 5 and like as high as like 10 or something like that. And the games on Facebook were fire. You had like Mafia Wars and Mob Wars, bro, on MySpace. Now it's just like a music app or something like that. I don't even understand what it is.
Hey, let's bring
really.
it back. Let's bring it back.
That man Tom made off with a bag.
They need a new. We need a new Twitter, y'all. That's my only thought process. I don't know who's gonna do it.
I'm about to go to Yik Yak. If you want to just be
Yik Yak.
racist, go to Yik Yak.
I ain't heard of Yik Yak in a minute. I ain't heard of Yik. Ain't that like the anonymous? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. It used to get nasty on there, bro. It used to get nasty, like, bro.
It was like geographically, so like everyone in your area, but yeah, it was completely anonymous.
Freshman year.
No
Nasty.
friends or nothing.
It's so nasty, bro. That's like high school. That was like high school, bro. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? Anonymous, like, oh, that's great. You gonna say all this stuff now? All right.
I just looked up Elon Musk too, and I didn't know he had more kids than the one he had with Grims or whatever her name is. But this man, son, really named his kids some letters, bro. I am puzzled, bro.
Bro, rich people, the names be so stupid, so dumb. I'm
The
like,
Supreme Dream skit.
they be naming their kids the stupidest stuff, bro.
Echo.
Dog, his kid's name is XAEAX 1-1 or I. I don't even like, bro. What?
Like that's the like you can't even say it like out loud. Like the
Bro, there's
name,
not a
like that's just
pronunciation of this, bro. There's hyphens in this shit, bro. It's not even an AE. It's like some type of like symbol that is an A and an E
how you
combined,
come
bro.
up with this?
Fucking, I don't know. I don't know.
You just zooted, just like you know what? Let's name our kid this. You can't. I mean, if you the wife, you can't say no. He got a whole bunch of money.
Dog, I hate Elon Musk, bro.
Why do you hate my man?
I don't dislike anyone more on this planet. I really don't think.
He self-proclaimed Tony Stark, bro. Tony.
Nah, bro. Tony turned from a selfish philanthropist to a selfless philanthropist.
Oh
Tony
god.
gave his life to save the world. Will Elon do that? Will Elon do that?
Yeah,
I wonder
that's
what
what he
that
got to do to
44
change my
billion could have
opinion.
did for like anybody else. The crazy thing is, he would have still had Twitter. Like we would have still had Twitter. He could have took that 44 billion
Dog.
and did so
I
many.
seen some. I seen something where somebody where he offered like the UN like there was somebody had said that he should take that money and like end world hunger, and he was like, hey,
Yeah.
like if the UN like do it, like I'll match it. And like this, like they come up with a plan, like I'll match it, and like they never came back. So I don't know how true that is, but
Yeah, there was like I don't remember the exact details, but it was essentially like yeah, if you come up with a plan, because you're saying that I can end it with like 6, 7, whatever, how many $1 billion, and essentially like it sounded like he kind of like moved the goalposts, like it wasn't because I think what they were like the plan they came up with was like generating infrastructure so these places could sustain like themselves to create like food reserves and stuff, and he kind of like moved the goalposts or something like that. But like, regardless if it's like true or not, like I don't know. But like Dab said, like $44 billion, like
yeah, that's no one ever gonna see that again. Like that's just like crazy. Like billion, you couldn't spend that. You couldn't spend that if you wanted to.
That's gotta be an over evaluation, bro. There's no way Twitter was like, yeah, let's do it if they shit was like even equal to 44 billion evaluated. Like, that's the thing. I think he for sure overpaid for that shit, bro. $44 billion.
he for sure did just so he could say he got it, bro.
They was
What do
like,
you
yeah,
want to buy
fucking
Twitter
yeah.
for, bro? God damn.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. This might be the end for Twitter, y'all. We gotta find something soon. We gotta go back to
He said he wanted to monitorize viral tweets. What you mean?
what monetizing.
Yeah, monetizing.
That's not gonna be no fun.
Well, well,
There's gonna be ads all over my Twitter. I'm gonna be scrolling through my feed. I'm gonna get a Google ad.
Be mad as hell.
whoop, 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 whoop. All right, you know what? I'm done, bro.
Bro, it's already like Twitter, like some of the shit on my TL, not even who I follow, bro. It's like ideas that I like.
Yeah,
The
and like
tweets that
promoted
you
tweets
like,
and
and they look like
shit.
familiar. It's
Yeah.
like familiar stuff. I'm already kind of doing that right now, so yeah, yeah, we in for it.
Off of Elon. Let's get into some football. I spent a good amount of my day yesterday watching the USFL. It was actually a pretty decent game. Obviously, like they got a lot of like improving to do, considering that they got like I don't know 30, 40 random guys threw them on a roster together and started playing football like a few weeks later. But I like a lot of like the rules and like the general culture that they're trying to create in the USFL, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
I seen a dude with the cigarette at practice. They said it was fake, but they said they said that they gave the cigarettes to him to like kind of spark like the identity that they want to play with. I guess it's just like smoky or on fire or something. But yeah, I seen that in the USFL. I think the big issue was just like and like this is just like a professional issue too, but like how like games are how games go and how they're like operating just like competition wise. I think like a big issue like these lower leagues have is like always just like offensive line play because like
Hmm.
like it's like one of those positions where like really good or just like and if you're really good like you're gonna be in the NFL like you're not gonna be at USFL like um but it's just like one of those real those offensive line, and then I mean obviously like quarterback. But like, I feel like that's a position where it's just like it's probably going to be really hard to find like quality offensive linemen because if they're
Yeah.
good, they're gonna get a call up in the NFL, and then you just stuck with like the sub who not good and everything. So I didn't watch any games this week. I seen some highlights of some dudes on Twitter and stuff. But I mean, hopefully it lasts longer than not the AAF or the XFL like 2, 3 years ago before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because isn't the
There's
XFL coming out soon too?
yeah, I think so. I haven't heard as much about it though. So I mean, I know they're
The
doing
XFL?
it, but I think
No.
maybe like not like hopefully if the league can like last like a season, 2, 3 seasons, then like you like fix some of like the talent feeder issues because then like kids coming out of college and stuff like that will know that they have another option because there's a lot of people in the USFL right now that like were out of football for like a few years and they got a call like do you want to come back and play and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
obviously
Like
they're
probably
out of
from the agent
shape.
or something.
Exactly. So like they were doing a short on one of like the linebackers for the Stallions, and he like played football. Like he played in the league. Like he was a later round pick for a few years. Played in the league. Eventually ended up not making a roster, and then he went to be like a firefighter. And he got a call from like his old coach, like, "Do you want to come back and play?" Or no, he didn't play in the league. He played at Arizona, and then got like went to be a firefighter and shit like that. So like he had been a firefighter for however many years, and then came back to play linebacker. So hopefully, like
Yeah.
maybe if like kids know that they have something else to go do, and like the salary's not bad for playing football for 3, 4 months. Like, because if like let's say you make like 40, 50,000 dollars to play football for 3, 4 months, and then you could have another job the rest of the year, like you're making a decent living, like especially in Birmingham, Alabama, where they are right now. Um,
Yeah.
I like a lot of the rule stuff. Like they're being like really transparent with like the rules and stuff. Like Mike Pereira is the like head rules guy, and like they made a missed call on the field yesterday. So they call Mike Pereira, like the Mike Pereira calls down to like the head umpire, and he pretty much tells them, and they're like they show Mike in the box talking to him like, no, like this is what happened, we saw it on the video, you got to change this, so then this is the call XYZ. And I mean everyone can see it happening, so it's like really transparent, which is obviously nice. And then as far as like entertainment value, you can hear like everything all the players and coaches say like for the whole game.
Hmm. I remember I watched like the first week and they do like the mid game interview when like they be on the bench and stuff. I just think that's so funny how um like in leagues like that because I like I said it seemed like 2 years ago with XFL how they just like interview like a player like if a player get like a pick six or a touchdown. And I think they do interviews with players that like if they throw a pick and then they be like, what were you looking for? Like their immediate reaction, like what were you looking at when you threw that interception? And then like I just love like the immediate reaction of players because like you gonna like at that moment like when they can't like get they PC like answers and stuff, you gonna probably get like an immediate like reaction from them and everything. So I mean like that's probably good for TV too. So
Yeah, there was a decent turnout at the game itself yesterday, it looked like. I mean, considering it's Birmingham, Alabama, and like none of these teams are where their fans would be. Like I'm sure if the Michigan Panthers ended up in Grand Rapids, like they'd get decent turnouts for the Panthers themselves, but like none
I
of
go
these
to a game.
people. Yeah, exactly. All the people that are going to games now are essentially just people that are like within a decent vicinity that could probably drive to Birmingham. So for the most part, you're not getting. And granted, like a lot of their money isn't coming from stadium revenue; it's coming from TV deals and stuff. But I mean, it's something nice to have on. And I think like as time goes on, like there's definitely gonna be like some people that probably like get like onto an NFL roster because I'm like John, what was his name? Jonathan Adams. He was from like Arkansas State. He was on the Lions. He was a UDFA to the Lions last year. Ended up not making the camp, but then like he's like one of the leading receivers now in the USFL. So like inevitably someone's gonna pick him up in the fall, probably for a camp, and then maybe he makes a roster that way. And I'm sure that might happen with some other guys. So it'll probably be more like conducive to producing like skill position players in the NFL, but
Oh yeah.
still.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure.
But we'll just get into it. The talk of the town this past week was the NFL draft. Arguably one of the most exciting first rounds in probably my memory of the draft. You guys can speak for yourself, but a lot of goings on in the first round that people didn't expect. Only one quarterback in the first two rounds, or
Kenny.
did Desmond go in the third
Didn't
or the end of the
Malik go?
second?
Malik go to third?
Malik was in the third. Corral was in the third. Sam Howell went in like the fifth or sixth.
Yeah.
Desmond went in the beginning of the third too, I think. So
Yeah, third or fourth.
I don't know any immediate gut reactions for maybe getting to like some winners and losers of just the draft itself, how it went down.
I got I got the Jets winning the draft for the most part, just because of the talent that they was able to acquire in them 3 picks, which they got arguably the best pass rusher. They got the best cornerback. They got one of the best edge rushers too, and linebackers. So I really think that the Jets won for the most part, and then I got the Detroit Lions number 2. And they really like 1A, 1B. They both killed it. They both killed it. The Lions, I like the late picks for the Lions a lot too. I know Dre was happy because that's most of his position needs was taken. I didn't really see like other drafts with the Lions, like it's some picks you like head scratchers. Like you like, why did they pick this position? They needed other. This year I didn't see any head scratchers. Like that one, like when they traded up, I was like, wow. I was like, they really about to get a quarterback. I was like, they really about to get Malik Willis. And I was sitting there like, do we really need Malik? Even though I want Malik.
I thought it was gonna be for Kyle or Jordan Davis. Like when they did that, I didn't know who the fuck they were trading that for.
Jordan Davis?
I had no idea. I mean, I thought it was Kyle or Jordan, and the only reason I wouldn't have done it for Jordan. Like, I would have been more upset for Jordan, but like I was like, he's an elite, like, he's one of a kind, like type of like player, and obviously Brad Holmes like had Aaron Donald. Not saying Jordan Davis is Aaron Donald, but it's a type of like interior presence that obviously Detroit maybe doesn't necessarily have. But I probably more thought it was going to be Kyle, but.
Right.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, like, cause I kind of wanted Thibodeau. I kind of wanted Thibodeau over Aiden, but they picked Aiden in the safe pick, and then I'm like, oh, they just drafted up. This finally the risk we gonna take. Sometimes you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. You feel me? And they got Jameson. I was happy as hell. I'm like, that was my number 1 receiver on the board. I was so happy they got Jameson. So now we got some weapons, man. We upgraded 2 of the worst positioning groups that we had the year before. Love it. Other picks.
Tay, you have any glaring reactions?
I just think I know like for this draft, it wasn't like everybody's like, oh, this is a bad draft because it wasn't like the highlighted quarterbacks. Like you said, it was only one quarterback that was taken in the first round, which Kenny Pickett going to the Steelers. But I just think like when we look down the line, I think like that this draft will develop like really good pros, and I think it'll be
Yeah.
good for the league. I think it'll be good for the league in general because like I said, like this draft, like just because it didn't have the poster board QBs is going to be the franchise of organizations. It's got really good players. Aiden Hutchinson going to the Lions. I mean, he's going to be a franchise, a pillar for them for the next 10 or so years to potentially building something like that. So you trade up to go get Jameson Williams. You get a threat, a deep threat like that. which is great for the Lions. But then like the trades as well. Like we seen like so many teams just being aggressive for like the players that they wanted. Like I don't think like in the first round, like I don't know if they like set a record or anything, but like it was so many trades, just like that. I was over with me and Dad's hanging out watching the draft, and we just like burn all the mocks, burn all the mocks. Because it was just like no one knew all these trades and stuff was gonna happen because like you knew like you didn't know going in like because this draft was so unexpected. Like we should have expected the most unexpected things to happen. Like you get AJ Brown who is now traded to the Eagles from the Titans. Who could have seen that? Like you thought like the Titans would eventually like just get on their knees and they just pay AJ, but they like nah like
Yeah.
we're not gonna pay you all that money because like we can just we can always go get a receiver and they replace him with Treylon Burks. So it's a win-win for both sides with Titans getting Treylon and then the Eagles getting one of the better receivers in the league, AJ Brown. So I just think like with this draft, I think it's gonna be like a lot of really good pros. Even though like it's a quarterback league, but like quarterback, I think people got to remember like quarterback is one of the most dependent positions. So like although like those names are great for the draft, like these other positions are what ultimately like determine are just as important in determining games and stuff like that. So I just think taking away from this, I think on this draft, I think we're just going to see uh, just a lot of good pros that's coming out. So it should be
Yeah, I'm
exciting.
curious, and this kind of goes back to our discussion of positional value that we had a few weeks ago on the legislature, in that I wonder if all these essentially like a lot of people are trading up for receivers, or you have the Eagles who trade their pick for a receiver. So the Lions trade up for receiver, Saints trade up for receiver, the Packers traded up to the top of the first for a receiver, the Eagles trade a first for a receiver. There's probably some that I'm forgetting about, but like, is this because we value receivers so highly relative to other positions, or is it because shit, the receiver market's getting so expensive, I have to figure out ways to get elite guys for a lower cost, even though I might not want to pay the premium that like is being driven right now by the market. So I'm saying? Like maybe it's not highly valued, but it's costing way more than teams are valuing it. So now I have to spend premium like equity to get it, as opposed to paying these guys in free agency. It's just so weird too because you draft guys with the intentions of them being great. Like you want them to be great. So then now you have to
Right.
pay them. So you're like it's an issue now for you. And maybe they didn't expect it to be to what it was. Maybe you didn't expect to have to pay $25-30 million to these elite receivers. But I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts about the market in general.
I think it's like a combination of both things. I don't know, bro. It's more of a pass heavy league combination to like all these receivers. It's like superstars. That's like they attribute to their team's success, but it's not always the fact that like getting a top 5 receiver attributes to you to getting like a Super Bowl championship. Like I don't know. It depends on what success is to you. Because like AJ Brown, like he had like a slow start, but he turned everything around. You feel me? It didn't attribute to like a Super Bowl, right? But he's still one of the top receivers in the league. It's either you get that, you re-sign that, and it won't necessarily get you a Super Bowl, or you just go get his replacement in the first round, which you can obviously see that there's a plethora of receivers. Just like we was always talking about, like there's a plethora of receivers in the league. It's either you think he can contribute to your Super Bowl win, or you can just replace him, and the cost of him is just keep going up. It's just like a perfect storm for it. I feel like, even if with Jameson, like, what do we want Jameson to be? We want him to be great, right? So in 3 years from now, are we gonna pay Jameson to be great, even if he is great? Like I don't know. It's kind of like running backs for real. That's what I think. I honestly believe the wide receiver position is kind of like running backs. You can find wide receivers in the draft. You can find wide receivers in free agency. Now the elite, you can't like the top 3, but you can find receivers. So they all replaceable to me because there's just so many of them.
And I mean, I'm not gonna go that far and say they are like are running backs because there is like a clear difference of just like elite running back, elite wide receivers, and then like your wide receiver twos and threes and fours that have specific things that they do for a team. So I mean, I won't go that far, but I think it's like a mix of both of just like, okay, I can replace you with someone in the draft because so many receivers are coming out now, and just not wanting to, pay that much, uh, pay that top dollar. I mean, you see some teams are willing to do like the Packers was willing to pay Devontae, but Devontae was just like, I'm done. Like I don't want to. Like I'm good. Like y'all can pay y'all don't like I'll just go to Vegas with the Raiders and everything. But I think it's a combination of both. It's so much talent in the draft now with the way the game has shifted, to where like elite receivers are coming at high rates where you're seeing like I think they said what 6 or 7 receivers were taken in the first round. Yeah,
I think it was
six
7.
Yeah, 6 or 7 receivers are taken in the first round. So I mean, like, in the top 20 or the top 25, something like that. So I mean, like, I think it's a combination of both. I mean, like the Titans could have paid AJ. Obviously, like you seen, like Mike Vrabel was like very upset. Like he had to walk away from the table because he didn't want to let AJ go. But it's business, and hey, that's how it is sometimes. So, uh,
Yeah, I don't blame teams for not wanting to play wide receivers 25 men. Like I don't blame the Packers for trading Devontae, getting what a first 2 seconds or whatever they got, and then not having to shell out $150 million. Like that's understandable, but then you obviously have to like live with the impacts to your team that might produce.
mm,
And I guess the same can be said about the Titans. The Titans are probably like, we got Robert Woods for a 5th round pick. Like Robert Woods and Traylon Burks, our wide receiver core is arguably still better than it was last year with Julio
right.
and
That's a
AJ
good, yeah,
halftime. Like, so
yeah.
that might be how they think of it. And now you have more money to go do other things. If Ryan Tannehill doesn't get extended because you drafted Malik Willis in the third, like you're sitting pretty with your pocketbook, and you're only really paying. I mean, Derrick Henry, by the time Ryan Tannehill is done, Derrick Henry's contract will probably be towards the end too, so he won't be out a lot of money. So I think it makes sense for sure. It's just a weird state for the position, obviously, and then you have guys like Hollywood Brown who goes for. I mean, you trade Hollywood for a first and you give a third. Like, what would you like if like without like any weird trade? Like, would it, like if Hollywood had gone for a second, I would have been like, okay, like that's fine. Like he's above average NFL receiver. I know he has some drop issues, but he has like a role on a team. But they paid a first and got a third in Hollywood. That is insane to me. And he's on a contract year.
Yeah, it's just obviously how they view and want to use him. I mean, that's wild. How they You said they traded at first and then they got a third and him back.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, cause I seen in the article like they had been. I think Hollywood had been asking for a trade ever since like 2 years ago. So they
Yeah.
had been looking for trade partners for a minute. So like, obviously, as like you said, like you mentioned the drops and everything, like yeah, but like he was still like a productive receiver for them. I think he's
Hmm.
still like 1,000 yards and everything. So I mean, like obviously they were looking for a certain asking price for him. So I mean, like, and they just pounced on that first. Like, hey, like we'll take it. I mean, like we'll take it. We'll give y'all a third in exchange for it. Because I mean, like the Ravens draft really well too. So like their problem isn't like drafting because they're always going to get like people that are eventually going to help the team out.
Hmm.
So I mean, like it probably just price. I would say because I mean Hollywood was important for that team. Like no matter like his performance at times, like he was. I think Lamar, other than Mark Andrews, receiver wise, he was his number one option.
Yeah, I'm because it's so weird because like I said, Hollywood's a slightly above average receiver, but he has like a very specific role and that he can do for any team, and that's like stretch the field and be a threat and get you some yak if you get him on some separation on a cross and things like that. But it's just weird because we all wanted the Ravens to draft another receiver, which they inevitably ended up doing, like in the mid rounds in like day two. But we wanted them all draft a receiver. So then it's like, okay, well you let Hollywood go and then you draft one. So you're still like you're in a minus position because you already lost something that you knew was like a solid role player on your team. And then we wanted you to draft something, so like you still never got to that point like offensively. And I know like Mike Fleury was like because like you said, it's supposedly been known that he wanted out for some time, and Lamar is acting like he ain't know about it. So I don't know if he did or didn't know, but it seems like he should have known at the way they're
They said
saying
they
it.
talked about it. I don't.
But
I think
he like
Lamar
tweets
probably.
like he didn't know, and that's a weird thing. And I guess they're saying like Flory was saying he's like, I think that Lamar doesn't want other receivers in the league to think that people are leaving because they can't be productive receivers like around him in that offense, like whether it be not maybe him his ability to throw the ball, but the lack thereof just because of his rushing ability.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's on the OC though. I think Lamar can run like a I think he can run like a Josh Allen offense. Like Josh Allen is like pretty mobile. They get him in read option stuff sometimes in their packages and everything. I think he can do it. I just think the Ravens try to maximize and use that threat of Lamar's ability because it's so like rare of him like just being so shifty and also being able to throw the ball. I think they just trying to get the most out of that. But I feel like he can run a system like and even like a Patrick Mahomes. I mean like before he got hurt, like Lamar was putting the team on his back. So
Bro, it wasn't. It's not sustainable though. I don't get how
yeah, they're
NFL
all
teams.
their offense is not. I mean, like you see teams like it work for like like the 49ers, but like that's like power running offense like with Kyle Shanahan. You see like the Bill Belichick, their run first everything, but like pistol and like that full house and stuff like that. Like it was really like we've seen it ever since he like. And I ain't gonna judge his first year because obviously he's a rookie, but like going in from like his second year to like now, we've seen it where it's kind of like it has its highs, then like it inevitably it reaches a low. So I mean like they got to do
Injury,
something where they got to switch that up.
injury chances go up. Everything goes up. Like you got. It's not like Lamar can't throw the ball either. It's like they refuse to like develop him as a passer and like just want to continue to use something that they think works. But like he was always he can always throw the ball. Like so I
Yeah,
don't get
he can
like
always throw it.
I don't get it.
And it's like outside, like I think the Ravens were in a position where like they should have reached for a receiver. Like I don't care about value. Like I know that they took all the receivers off the board, but like maybe you have to reach for Christian Watson. Maybe you have to reach for a Sky Moore or something here with one of these first round picks like, to help him out. Because other than that, like if that wasn't the case, I think the Ravens like arguably had the second best draft. Like they drafted Kyle Hamilton at 14 with the pick that they got from Hollywood. They drafted Tyler Linderbaum, who's the best center in the draft.
Hmm.
They drafted David Ajabo in the second, who I know like it's tough to gut an explosive speed rusher with the torn Achilles, but like he was a top half of the first guy. Travis Jones is one of the best interior pass rushers in the draft. They got him in the third, and then they had six fourth round picks. Like, with the exception of not justifiably reaching on a wide receiver, their draft was really good. But it's just like no one's coming in free agency. You aren't getting anyone in the draft. It's just so strange.
Right,
Bateman.
Bateman the guy,
He's
Bateman
probably
and
going to
Mark
get like 160 targets this year.
Bateman, Mark Andrews. I mean that's they just putting it all on him. They got
They
I
paid Mark
mean
Andrews. They're like, you are our number one.
they got Devin Duvernay who's a burner. But I mean that's like I mean yeah. Like unless they bring like a free agent in like Odell or AB, but I doubt they bring AB in. Like just with their culture and everything, I doubt they bring AB in. You know who
If
also had a
Odell
really
went
good
there, bro, that would be so fire, bro.
yeah. You know who also had a really good draft? Kansas City do a good job too.
Yeah, they
They
did have a really good
they had
draft.
a really good draft. I mean, the first two picks defense. I mean, that was neat. Everybody, I mean, I was thinking like, oh man, the 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 popular pick or like like the Patrick Mahomes, like the box office, like probably get like a receiver, one of the receivers that like drop. But I'm like, no, they stuck to what they actually needed, and they needed a DN, they needed a corner, and they got that, and then they end up getting Sky Moore in the second round, right? So you got your receiver that you can spread the ball around to. I just think they had a really good drive too, and it's just great to see like they just reloading and just like it don't seem like they're gonna miss a beat. Like people might be trying to write them off because they didn't have
Yeah.
Tyreek, but they're not gonna miss a beat. I mean, they got Andy Reid is very successful, one of the best coaches we've probably ever seen in NFL. So I mean, like, they're not gonna miss a beat. They had a
This
really
probably
good
got
drive.
this probably got their defense back to maybe what it was around like that Super Bowl, maybe even like slightly better. I mean, I felt like they had a lot of holes and they didn't address anything in free agency, but they drafted really. I mean, they got Trent McDuffie, who is a top 3 corner in the draft. They got George Karlaftis, who they needed another edge presence, and he's one of the best in the draft at that. You get Sky Moore, who essentially he isn't like the downfield threat that Tyreek is, but he can do all like the within 15 yards, like the gadget plays, the screens and all that type of stuff, and is really good after the catch.
Mm.
And then you get like some value guys in like Brian Cook, Leo Chenal at linebacker, and then some other like key role players. So
They drafted another safety too, right?
yeah, Brian Cook, and then they got Najee Johnson from Marshall in the 7th. But I mean, Brian Cook fits them well. He's versatile. He can come down to the box and play like that Tyron role that they obviously he's a great tackler. They could probably just use a
Yeah.
linebacker that could cover a little bit better, but other than that, like
Yeah, they had a really good drive too, so that was good for them because I know people was ready to be like, oh, they don't got Tyreek. Like, hey, look, they still gonna be one of the top offenses in the league.
It's funny because it's like the way that they pay quarterbacks now. Like you paying Patrick Mahomes $300 million. Like you got to be the guy, no matter who is around you. Like you have to be that guy, and you have to perform at that level. So, and I feel like paying him $300 million, like he is that guy to be able to do that with whoever is out there with him. So it's just budgeting your team basically. Because now,
I mean, oh, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
because like now, like their defense sucks. So you gotta put more money to the defense. Because you taking up most of the money on offense. So I mean, Patrick Mahomes seemed happy about Sky Moore. I feel like Sky Moore pick was pretty good for the second round. They got Juju. They still got Harbin. Like you got Travis
Kelsey,
Kelce.
MVS.
You got your weapons. It's not like that's why the pick. I mean, that's why I think they drafted so well is because they actually looked for defense.
I didn't know they had DeAndre Baker on their team.
Yeah, I think did he get hurt? I think it was either he got hurt last year or the year before, but he like broke his leg or something like that. But yeah, that story was wild.
That was wild.
He was getting, bruh. Lawyer was trying to send him to the pen, take all his money, bruh. Wild story. I was looking at the crazy thing, like the Bills, like they only needed a corner. They got Kyer Elam. Like what a steal! Like what a grab!
Yeah, I love
Elam,
Kyer. Yeah.
Kyer Elam and Tre'Davious White on the opposite side, and then like they already had like, and then like. Or like you put Kyer in a slot or have Levi like out there, or they just switched. Like they already had like a decent like cornerback room. Maybe you just needed another one. Like maybe Levi wasn't your like cup of tea, but I mean like Levi's still like a good starter. Like he a decent starter to where like he can be on the field at least. But getting him, and then they got James Cook as well.
That's fire for them. He's about to go dumb for them.
He about to go stupid in that offense.
And they got the punt god, Matt Ariza.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of kickers that went in the 6th round. A lot.
Yeah.
Even in the 4th, some I think started going. Which
it was 4th. I think the first one was like from LSU. It was like in the 4th round.
Yeah, that is wild. But it brings about the question: if you knew you were drafting Justin Tucker as a rookie, do you take him first overall?
Fuck no.
Nah.
How early do you take him though? He's a top 10 pick. If you know you're getting Justin Tucker, he has to be a top 10 pick.
What do you?
I might take him in the third. I'll take him in the third.
I'm taking
I'm
him
taking
fourth.
him. I'm taking him in the first, bro. I'm taking him in the first. You're getting the best kicker of all time.
Well, no.
I'm not taking him first, bro.
Bro, I
I
can
don't
get a
care how
kicker.
important.
Without the
Yeah.
chance of any bust on the pick, I'm taking him in the first.
I'm taking
Bro,
him
you can get a
third. I'm
kicker.
not. I can't waste my first two picks.
You can get a
Yeah.
kicker.
You
Drake,
can't get
Rob-
Justin Tucker.
Roberto
That's
Aguayo.
fine. I mean, I don't know,
He's
bro.
fine. He's the best of all time. We witnessed
Yeah.
him kick a fucking from the other side of the logo.
Bro, if anybody picked a kicker third round this draft, or any draft in general,
No, it's not any draft. You know it's going to be Justin Tucker. Like, if I zapped the years off of his life and put him back as a 21-year-old coming out and you knew he was going to be Justin Tucker, I'm taking him in the first round.
why? Why? You can get a decent kicker in the.
It's not about a decent kicker. He's won them games. He's won them more games than offensive players drafted in the first round.
That is true. I'm not taking him in the first round. I can't do that. I can't.
I don't
telling
know,
you,
big
bro.
dog.
Yeah, I
He's
can't
still
do
a
that.
kicker.
That is
He has
true.
won
He's
him.
still a
He
kicker.
has won him a lot of games, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
And in that scenario, there's no chance of the pick busting. Like, half first rounders bust, or not bust, but like don't live up to like what you're drafting them to do.
So you picking him top 10?
If I know I'm getting Justin Tucker, yes, I am picking him top 10. I don't care. Would you rather have Garrett Wilson or Justin Tucker and you know he's going to be Justin Tucker?
Garrett Wilson.
I'm probably gonna pick Garrett.
Bro,
I'm
I
not
can
gonna
find
lie.
another Garrett Wilson. I can find another Garrett Wilson easier than I can find a kicker like Justin Tucker.
Let's do Jameson. You rather have Justin Tucker than Jameson right now?
If I knew he was going to be Justin
Yeah,
Tucker,
if you knew.
yes.
You're tripping.
Yes. If I knew he was going to be Justin Tucker, yes.
What?
You're really undervaluing special teams.
It's not that I'm undervaluing special teams.
He is going to win you far more games. Think of how many, if you like tally up how many games you've lost because your kicker misses field goals. Not even him winning game winners. How many you've lost because your kicker has missed a key field goal or an extra point throughout the game. That changes the course of a game. That changes how your offense plays. That changes how you have to play on defense.
I mean, how many games have we lost because of a kicker? I feel like Prater was pretty good. I mean, how many games have we lost truly?
I mean, they've lost, quite a bit.
Because of a kicker?
Like Prater's last year was not good.
I'm saying
And then this year they were like rotating kickers because they couldn't find one that was consistent enough. I mean, yeah, they had Jason Hansen for a long time, but
Man, I don't know.
I don't know, big dog.
If it's
Buddy is
Justin Tucker-
automatic. Like you can chalk it up.
If it's Justin Tucker,
I'm giving Justin Tucker, with knowing how good he is, a third, fourth round grade.
A third or fourth?
Yeah. Bro, you not.
That's
It's the
wild,
You the
bro.
one talking about values of positions all the time.
If I know it's not all right, so it's different to project and know what someone's going to be. I'm projecting versus I know someone's going to be Justin Tucker. Yes, I'm taking them much earlier. If I knew Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady, I would take him first overall.
Yeah. But that's time.
But he wasn't that when he came into the league. So he went in the 5th or 6th or whatever. So I'm equivocating that to Justin Tucker. If I know he's going to be Justin Tucker, I'm taking him in the top 10.
You trying to talk your way into making this make sense, but at the same time, it's just a kicker.
Bro, you said you're not taking him before the 3rd. Think of who went in the 2nd round this year. You're telling me you
you
weren't
taking
taking
him in the top 10?
Yes,
said-
I'm taking him in the top 10.
I'll say first round, top 10.
Top 10.
That's like so like with that, knowing that, that's like saying like he like a top 10 player in the league.
He not.
No, that's not like saying that because most top 10 players picked aren't top 10 players in the league.
Yeah, but the way you saying it, you saying that you would take Tucker over the potential of top 10 the potential of top 10 first round draft picks are supposed to be great players.
Most top 10 players aren't gonna
That's not
aren't gonna
what
be
I'm
top
saying.
10.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the potential that when you pick them is that they're going to be great, that they will be like best in the league if they positions at some point. So you going to pick a kicker because you know he's going to be the best at his position and say fuck positional value.
But we're not just saying like it's not just the best of your position. You are the greatest all time. Greatest of all time. It's not just like, yeah, you made some more field goals than everyone. Like, no, like 55 yards, money. You can count it, chalk it up. I don't have to worry about my offense getting another first down. I know when it's coming down to crunch time that when we're driving down the field, I only got to get inside that 50, and he's going to make it. I don't know how, but he's going to do it. We witnessed it. I watched with my own eyes him break the record for the longest field goal ever kicked.
I don't know about top 10, Dre. You got me. I'm going to say third round. I say, second, maybe. I'll pick them just off potential of the draft picks in the second round. I know that I'm getting the greatest kicker.
I might say first. Top 10 is pushing it.
I don't know.
Because special teams,
I can get a kicker to do a good job.
Special teams is
point.
important. I think a lot of people, they don't realize how special teams is. Just like flipping field and getting point in. Like, let's say even if you don't get like 6 points, like you just getting 3. Like that can change the course of a game because you got some points. You didn't leave points out on the board. But top 10, that might be pushing it. I would probably go first round. Top 10 pushing it.
I'm taking him top 10. If I know I'm getting Justin, I'm taking him top 10.
Bro, Jameson Williams can have fucking 10 receptions, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns every other game. And, like, I would rather have
and
that.
And he still wouldn't have scored more points than Justin Tucker.
Bro, I would rather have that than Justin Tucker, though. Why would you?
Jameson's not even going to be the best receiver in the league. What do you mean?
I'm just saying the potential is there. It's all potential. That's what you draft off of, potential.
Yeah, but in this scenario, I know what his potential is, and he's reached the max of that.
I don't know, Dre. I don't know. Top 10, nasty, dog.
I mean, just look at how many like top 10 picks have bust in addition to that, or haven't lived up to their potential.
That's true.
Most don't.
That's true.
And also, he's the best kicker for like a 20-year career, or however long he's been playing now. Like, it's not like it's 5-year peak. He's been the best for like a decade.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'll go with first round. Top 10 is just, I don't know about that. Top 10, yeah, it's a little nasty. But I'll go first round, though.
I'm going to stick with my second round evaluation. First pick, second round, I guess, because I know he's going to be
first pick in the second round. Who is the first pick in the second round? Logan Hall. You take Logan Hall out of Houston over knowing you're getting Justin Tucker.
I get. Are we talking about this shit? We talking about this? So if we know
any year.
Okay.
Any year. There's a lot of players that's been and then like.
You know what? Patrick Mahomes is a great example of this. Patrick Mahomes at 10. You gonna pick Justin Tucker?
Hey, hold on. You said
over Patrick Mahomes at 10.
Yeah, well, Patrick Mahomes in that scenario would have gone earlier. What do you mean? You're using hindsight.
What you mean? What you mean they would have went earlier? What are you talking about?
Patrick Mahomes in that scenario would have gone first overall. What do you mean?
No, you said in any draft. Patrick Mahomes got drafted 10th overall.
In any draft, I think you're gonna take like it's.
Yeah, but there's also people that went before him that were worse. That would have been worse than Justin Tucker.
That's true. But you said you would pick him top 10.
In any draft, if we're going any draft, it's gonna probably be at least 5 or 4 quarterbacks taken, and then then you got the rest of the position.
And Justin Tucker has had a better career than 90% of them. All right, let's look at a list of the top 10 quarterbacks drafted in the last 20 years.
You taking Justin Tucker? You taking Justin Tucker over Peyton Manning?
No, but I'm taking over Mitchell Trubisky. I'm taking over Jared Goff.
No,
I'm
we're
taking
saying
him.
any draft though. Like I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
I'm
but
thinking,
those
like,
guys would have
combined.
been like the number 1, 2 picks, and then a couple picks later is Justin Tucker.
I'm taking the chance. That's the thing. I'm taking the chance. If I could pick right now, I'm saying like off the potential of getting Patrick Mahomes 10th, right? That's a top 10 pick. When I drafted him, I potentially thought he was going to be a great quarterback. I'm taking that chance that he a great quarterback over fucking what the kicker. I'm taking him over the kickers, knowing what type of career the kicker's having. Just because off potential, just off of me thinking maybe he is this. Because sometimes it turns out maybe it's just a big lottery.
More times
That's
than
all
not,
it is.
it doesn't turn out though.
That's fine. I still have
Far
a
more
chance.
times.
I have a chance.
Like you're using Patrick Mahomes as your example. He would have gone like number 1 if I know what their career is going to be. If I line up every quarterback that I know what their career is going to be, I'm taking Justin Tucker over like 90% of them.
But you don't know what their career gonna be. That was the.
But I know what Justin's is.
Yeah, you know what Justice is. But like, I know, like that's what I'm saying. I would rather take one of these players top 10, not knowing what their potential could be, because their potential could be.
But applying this logic, I could take Justin and then I could try for a quarterback another time.
I mean, Justin Tucker only does have one Super Bowl to his name though, so it ain't like he got like multiple Super Bowls from just being like the
Barry
best
Sanders
kicker.
has 0 Super Bowls to his name. He's the greatest running back of all time.
I think top 10 is just egregious, bro.
That's nasty, Dre. I'm not to you.
I'm saying,
That's
bro.
nasty.
I know the
telling you.
numbers say like your top 10 pick is probably like a 20% chance they like be the greatest or like be up there. But like I still take that 20% over Justin Tucker. I'm just saying, I'm still taking it. That's my logic, is that I still take the 20% chance
Well,
over
I get first
the
round,
greatest
but
kicker of all
top
time.
10, that's nasty, bro. A kicker? Nah.
All right.
Nah. That's nasty.
Bro.
Bro, what?
That's nasty,
That's
bro.
gross.
That's nasty.
It's not, bro. I guarantee
That's
if you
so
ask like
nasty.
NFL coaches, they would agree.
Why? Why would they agree to that?
That's
Because
so
they understand the
nasty, bro.
importance of how special teams affects the game.
Yeah, Bill Belichick
right, bet.
agreed,
So-
and John Harbaugh.
So I feel like with that logic, though, if they agree with you, kickers be taken a little bit earlier than what they usually taken. Just off
There
potential.
were a lot of kickers taken very early this year.
Yeah, fourth round.
But they don't know they're going to be Justin Tucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Relative to
positional
like the
value
history,
is low, is what I'm trying
relative
to
to
tell
the
you.
history of kickers, there was a lot taken early this year. Because when they missing, it changes how your team can operate.
So so now that I know this information about you, where do you put the kicker as positional value? Where do you put him over?
Like field goal kicker? I would
whatever Tucker do.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna pay my field goal kicker more than I'm gonna pay like my star safety. That's not like the argument I'm making. But I don't know. I could justifiably probably say linebacker. I could probably justifiably say safety. I could probably justifiably say running back. And then after that, it might start to get a little hazy. I think those three I could probably say pretty comfortably.
Over linebacker?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree, brother.
Safety and running back. I think linebacker is still important. It's an important position.
I would say running back, you got me. Anything other than that,
We all ranked running like linebacker like 7th or 8th when we did the rankings or whatever.
I'll
Yeah, I'm gonna put kicker below that though.
that's what I'm saying.
Need to have a solid linebacker though.
We did this, didn't we?
We didn't put kicker in it. Yeah, we didn't put kicker in it though.
Yeah, that's one of them takes that we just gonna have to cut up later on. and talk about it another day.
I know there's someone out there that could probably like if someone like did the analysis too, it would strengthen my argument so much. Like I just kind of did that on a whim, but there's some nerd out there that could like put me together some like fucking stat sheet of how impactful Justin Tucker is to like the Baltimore Ravens winning, and it would make me look like a genius. But I digress.
You're right.
Hey, you got it, bro. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Top 10 is nasty. I'm
Top
gonna
10.
stand by that.
That shit still fucking me up. Top 10.
Top
Stand
10.
by that.
Oh,
That's
my
nasty.
God. Give me the 20% chance. Give me the 20% chance that I get a generational player at another position. That's all I'm saying.
Who's a really like average like top 10 player?
Overall?
Like no, like they got drafted and they had like maybe a Pro Bowl career, but never like really exceeded that.
What
Jadeveon
year
Clowney.
you want to do? Yeah, Jadeveon.
Jadeveon.
So if you knew that every player you picked in the top 10 was going to be no worse or no less than the career of Jadeveon Clowney, would you take that, or would you take the potential of them being like 80% like lackluster and 20% being like, you know, Pro Bowler?
Well, see, the thing is, I value defensive end over all other position.
No, I'm saying like just like no matter what pick you pick, like that type of career, like a Pro Bowl career, but not like an All Pro. But every pick, let's say like every pick for now on in your tenure as GM, we know that they're gonna end up being a Pro Bowler, but they'll never exceed that. They will never be All Pro. They'll never be a Hall of Famer. They'll be Pro Bowlers. But you know that every time you pick a first rounder, they're gonna be that. Would you take that? Or would you take the risk of, you know, the bust, the occasional, like, I don't know, lackluster player, like rotational
I'm
guy?
taking the first option. Because, I mean, if you're benefiting and helping my team, I don't really care if you're doing an all-pro.
I'm picking the Pro Bowler.
Yeah,
Because,
I
I mean,
agree.
like, yeah, like, if you still benefit my team just because you didn't get a Pro Bowl or all-pro, like, that's subjective, like, to a certain extent. Like, that's just, like, because, like, you can have, like, your impact on the team might
But
not
Dabs, why
reflect,
aren't you
like,
taking the risk?
Because you just gave me a secure Pro Bowl player. Secure, like a baseline. You gave me a baseline.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you take the risk for the upside player?
Because they can bust. They can also
That's my whole argument. That's literally my whole argument.
Tucker. Use Tucker. You keep sliding Tucker out of there.
No, because your argument is based on the fact that they could be something more. That's what
But
you're
listen.
basing your argument on.
But listen, though, what I'm about to say. Okay, I would rather take the 20% chance or whatever percent chance that there is like a all around, what is it, Hall of Famer? Is that what I'm saying?
So you would take a Pro Bowl D end over Justin Tucker?
Yeah. Yes! Bro, look at the Lions! Bro, look at the Lions right now. You telling me you would rather have a fucking kicker than
Justin Tucker,
than
yes,
a
I would
Pro
take
Bowl
Justin
DN last
Tucker
year?
over a Pro Bowl D end. Yes, I would take Justin Tucker over a Pro Bowl D end. I would definitely take Justin Tucker's career over Jadeveon Clowney's. Easily.
Give me Jadeveon. Give me Jadeveon, bro.
Okay. He's gonna be a free agent like he is right now.
That's fine. We had a good 6-year run. That's fine. We had a good 6-year run of good play. When we were 30, we wouldn't have been 32nd in the league in pass rush. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that for a very long time. Maybe middle of the pack. Maybe.
If the Lions had Justin Tucker, they probably would have run like 2-3 more games this year. Jadeveon Clowney wouldn't have changed the Lions record.
Okay, yeah, you say okay, Jadeveon Clowney. Now I wouldn't. I would say when he.
What other Pro Bowler right now would change the Lions record? What other Pro Bowler right now would have changed the Lions record on defense? Pro Bowler. Not all pro, Pro Bowler.
Let me get the list. I gotta get the list because I got you.
Wouldn't Justin Tucker be all pro?
No, yeah, but we're just comparing it against like other positions.
You said what other Pro Bowler? Bro,
Yeah.
you want to do this?
You said what other like Pro Bowl D end? Like I'm not talking about like T.J. Watt or something like that that ended up being a Pro Bowl or someone
Joey
like that.
Bosa.
I'm talking.
Joey Bosa. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett. Joey Bosa.
I put him above like I put him I guess in a higher tier than I guess what I think we're talking about when we say Jadeveon Clowney though.
Jeffrey Simmons.
I mean the Lions lost to Baltimore by 2, to Chicago by like a score, to Minnesota by a score, they lost in OT to Pittsburgh, they lost to Cleveland by a score, they lost to Chicago by a score. And when I say a score, it's like 2-3 points. They lost to Atlanta by 4.
Bro, we was the worst pass rush in the league. Give me Chase Young.
They were also rotating kickers out and signing them off free agency.
Give me Chase Young. We would have won some more games. Promise
Chase Young
you.
got hurt. He wasn't playing.
I know. He was a reserve, though. He was a reserve for the Pro Bowl this year. When he was healthy, I'd give Chase
I don't
Young.
know how, because he didn't do shit this year.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say because they did lose a couple games, but they lost being the worst pass rushing defense in the league. So, like, I'm just saying pass rushers. It's Darius Smith. You can give me
I'm taking Justin Tucker.
Grady What?
Zadarius didn't do anything this year. He didn't play.
Bro, you're making my head hurt. What you
For sure, Preston isn't even that anymore for real.
Tay, what's your thoughts, bro?
I said I was taking Justin in the first round. I ain't taking him top 10. I think that's nasty. I'm gonna stick by that. I can't take no kicker. I can't. I mean, if it's like
It's not even that far off. You say it's nasty. The first round, it's only can be a 20 pick difference at most.
If it's Adam Vinatieri, because like Adam Vinatieri has won Super Bowls because of his leg, yeah, I'll take him top 10. But like Justin Tucker only won me. He wasn't like the reason they won the Super Bowl. He's won them games, yes. He's won them games probably, and is one of the most accurate kickers in the league. But like, he hasn't won them Super Bowls. Adam Vinatieri has actually won the Patriots Super Bowls. So I would take him probably top 10 over Justin Tucker.
But if Justin Tucker was playing in those games, he would have made those kicks. Like, we know who Justin Tucker is.
We can say, like, yeah, he would have, but I mean, like, that's just subjective. Like, yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
That's like saying, no, because that's like going to get nasty, because then we're going to say that other quarterbacks wouldn't have won in certain situations, or other players, when you swap them out, wouldn't have performed.
I'm just saying, like, you got, like, this. I'm just saying, like, I ain't saying, like, you're gassing. I think every kicker, it's not, like, it's probably, like, not of importance. I think every coach in the league would want to have like Justin Tucker as their kicker. I think they would just want to have that solidified because coaches are always looking for kickers. But I feel like you're like,
it's got to be one of the most anxiety-inducing things, rolling out someone there that you don't know. Like, it changes your decision-making process. We gotta get off this. Anyway, who drafted? Let me just get off this. Who drafted the worst, bro? Who drafted the worst?
I got Jag.
Besides saying New England, because their value is terrible on everything, but it's like I'm almost at this point with New England where it's like I'm not gonna question it, bro. Like, you drafted this guard in the first round, bro, from Chattanooga. I'm not gonna question it, Bill. Like, there's certain things like in this world, and like that's one of them. So like excluding the Patriots, terrible value. You said the Jags?
I didn't like the Jags draft.
I like the Jags draft. It could have been better.
I think he don't like that Trayvon Walker pick.
You would have picked if it was Kayvon and Trayvon, or Trevon, you would have picked Kayvon over Trevon.
Yeah. It's hype. It's the
Who else
Trayvon.
would you wait? Who else would you have picked over Trevon?
If I was the Jags, Evan
Just like in
Neal,
general, like if you were gonna like power rank, who?
Evan Neal, Sauce, and that's pretty. Aiden, and he would have been my fifth or
So if
third.
the Lions, like let's say the Lions were sitting there looking at Sauce or Trevon in some different universe, you would rather them take Sauce than Trevon.
See, that's quarterback needs. You said power rankings. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's based off needs too, because we needed a pass rusher. So I would take, instead of picking another corner, top 3, top 2, I would take Trayvon. But like power rankings, Trayvon like 5 for me.
They
And
got
that's
Devin Lloyd at 27 though. That was fire.
Bro, you know who's a real loser?
The Vikings. The Vikings
looking at-
did let both of the division rivals get dog
Correct.
receivers,
Receivers,
bro.
dog receivers, what are you doing?
bro. When I tell you, I want to say something though. That the Lions fucked up the draft for a lot of people with that 12th pick. I gotta look at the picks.
I'm not trading to my divisional rival, though. Are you crazy?
Yeah, they fucked up. Like that
get a
trade was
threat?
sweet. That trade was so sweet because they
Man,
fucked
I
it
will
up.
trade to
I
somebody
wonder
else
if-
in the NFC.
I wonder how much truth there is to the idea that the Eagles were gonna take Jameson, considering that they ended up trading for AJ. Like I don't know, like if that was a factor in that at all.
I think they might have been talking to AJ, but like that probably was like the last result. They probably wanted to draft a receiver, but then it was just like, all right, well we got AJ too, so like let's not worry about it.
Because
Man,
let's see. Because what happened was the Saints picked. No, like it was like a receiver.
Yeah, because they started. The Jets kicked it off with Garrett Wilson, then the Saints traded up and got Olave.
And then the Detroit Lions traded up, and then the Eagles had to get Jordan Davis, and then Baltimore got Kyle.
AJ.
I don't know if the Ravens would have got Kyle, bro. If like either Olave.
If Jordan Davis was there, I think they would have taken Jordan Davis.
They would have drafted Jordan.
But I think they're happy with Kyle. Like having him and Marcus Williams is kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Vikings big losers, bro. How you just trade? You trade to 2 divisional rivals, and then they go get like threats that you got to go against twice a year.
They got Andrew Booth, bro,
Yeah, all right.
and Lewis Seen. But that is kind of foul. I don't even because the Lions like they only gave them an extra third, and what they take with that third? They got. Did they not have a 3rd round pick?
Do we have
looking
another
at their
first
draft
next
team.
year?
Yeah, they have the Rams next year.
For real?
Yeah.
I think,
And another
I don't
loser
know.
I'm gonna go with is the Bears too, bro.
The Bears.
25-year-old receiver for Justin Fields.
He's 25. Vilas is.
Yes,
Damn.
they drafted a 25-year-old receiver for him.
I don't really like
Grant
Brisker that much either.
Brisker. Oh, the safety.
Yeah.
Granted,
Well, 'cause
Granted, bro, they need to help defensively, but like, dog, y'all traded. And this wasn't the same staff, but and I'm pretty sure they probably happy with Justin Fields. Like they know that he's their franchise, but like they traded up for him, and they gave up so much. Why would you like not try to get a receiver in the second round? Like that's not 25 years old. Like he older than when Mike Thomas came in the league. Like Mike Thomas was like 24.
I just realized they didn't draft him offensive lineman. They didn't have a 4th, so they didn't get one till the 5th.
That's what I'm saying. They traded. They let go of so much to get him last year. It's like, all right, well, y'all should at least be all in, like getting him help, like whether that be in receiver or like offensive line. And they were just like, nah, like we just gonna focus on the defense. And I guess what you should expect from a defensive coordinator who's now a head coach. But like, bro, that's your franchise quarterback. Like he gonna be running for his life next year. Like you didn't do nothing offensive line. Like you didn't do nothing in free agency or in a drive to and not getting mauled next year. Like they had a really, I don't think they had a good draft either. I think they were definitely a loser.
I swear. But I see something about the Lions. The Lions, I think what happened was, didn't they get the dude? They got the dude that was like the draft director for the Chiefs and the Browns, right? What was his name?
Well, they have, wow, I gotta,
What's his name? It's so easy too. I don't know
yeah,
why.
why can't I think of who it is? He was the GM
Dorsey.
for both of those.
Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey. He was the GM. He wasn't the draft director. He was the GM for them.
GM. So my whole thought process is they said that he like looks for quarterbacks like in college for like next season or the season after. Like it's a long process for him, right? To look at. So the thing I'm thinking is like no matter what happened with Jared Goff, like next year we got draft capital to draft up to get.
Dorsey's gone though.
Dorsey's gone now.
So, but yeah, I agree because he's the one who was like in charge of like supposedly he's who like essentially drafted Aaron Rodgers. He was a big part in drafting Patrick Mahomes, and then whatever you think of Baker Mayfield, like at least it's not an outright bust. Like there's been worse fucking first round quarterbacks drafted. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that he's on his way out, and I think they're bringing in Rick Spielman, who is the old Vikings GM, who's actually really good GM in my opinion, even though like the latter years of that like regime kind of fell apart. But it's Spielman's brother, obviously, Chris Spielman's brother.
Yeah, I think we got.
But I mean, if what you're saying is true, then that means they have already started that legwork on the quarterbacks for next year.
Yeah, I think that's what he was brought in for real. I don't know. If they, I just don't know if they think that Jared Goff is a bridge quarterback or is it that they think he like it.
I think they think he's less than it, but more than a bridge.
Yeah.
Like, I think that let's say that because if the Lions win 7-8 games next year, they're still picking top 10. Like, I know it doesn't sound like the Falcons won 7-8 games and they picked 8 this year. So, like, with 2 firsts and whatever capital you have the year after, like, let's say you had to trade both your first this year and then your first next year to trade up to get a quarterback. Like, if you really liked, like, if there was a way to get Stroud or something like that, let's say, then reasonably, like, you could do that. But I don't know. Like, if let's say they have a decent year next year, I think there's like a world where they're still like, oh, you're fine, Jared, for signing for like 3 for $60, like $30 million per year underneath the quarterback market. Like, fine, we'll bring you back. I like think there's a world where that happens, but I think also they recognize like they could be in the market next year. So I think that played a big role in why they went and got Jameson, because now you essentially give him anything he could ever want to succeed.
Yeah.
I didn't like Atlanta's draft at all, though. I did not like Atlanta's draft at all.
Really?
Drake London is still my wide receiver 1, but given the state of that roster, I would not have spent my 8th overall pick on him. First of all, I probably would have gone defense in some direction. I like Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State, the DN, but then like Troy Anderson in the second as an interior linebacker, like he's kind of a project to me. And then Desmond Ridder as your first, 3rd overall pick, I don't really like that. Desmond Ridder's like my last ranked quarterback, so they didn't get even the quarterback 2 in my opinion.
They said they got him because of his heart.
His heart.
Heart and determination.
Buddy got on the phone and started crying, talking about something. They took too long. I was like, "What you mean they took too long?" Time out, bro. Was he the second? He was the second quarterback taken, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Bro. Get that man. That man tripping. I hope maybe he. Nah. Nah. I seen that championship game and I'm like, this man can't throw. For real. He got the arm, bro. He just don't have
his accuracy is inconsistent.
Yeah, his accuracy just inconsistent. I can't deal with that, bro. Especially
part of it has to be the athletic ability. That has to be part of the reason, because he was the fastest quarterback. Like, I think he might be faster than Malik.
Yeah, probably.
And Malik's
I
not
mean,
particularly fast. He's a really good runner, but he was like like Desmond was like a 4.5 guy.
yeah. I mean, they definitely needed a receiver because they don't have anybody. They only had Kyle, and
Yeah.
they lost Russell Gage in the offseason. He's throwing the Uber drivers and Amazon workers, and besides Kyle Pitts. So they definitely need a receiver. So I like the Drake London pick that they had. I thought they had an all right draft. I ain't gonna say it was terrible, but like they roster is just like it's so unknown and everything. So it's just like
Yeah.
Bro, picking Ritter third was
They just gotta
nasty.
extend AJ.
yeah. Defensively, they still need more help and everything. So hopefully, whoever they drafted can be some key pieces for them. But who was
I
Baker? Baker was also a loser this weekend too,
Yeah, bro.
because all
There's
the things
one. Go ahead. Sorry.
that we were all the no, you good. All the things that like were like potentially like saying like he would go to. I think Seattle was only left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seattle is the only option like at this point. Like they don't, and I feel like they the only thing that's gonna take him because like Tennessee, Carolina, where Matt Corral go?
To Carolina.
Carolina,
Yeah.
Kenny is
Seattle's
with
the
the
only
Steelers.
team.
Seattle's the only team that he can go to. Any other
I
team that
think
they
that's a good fit
drafted,
for him, though.
maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I mean,
Run the
maybe that's
ball.
why
They're
they're
gonna run the
waiting after
ball.
the draft because they can trade like a next year's like fifth for him or some shit like that, like something really light. Um,
I mean, then he was also a loser because like all the teams that we was thinking about where he could potentially go, they're like, I know we don't need you because we drafted this young guy. And
Bro, they
and
drafted the
you're
young guy late too. They they got in the bottom of the barrel with these people, bro. Like Brad Holmes, is like what Brad Holmes say? Brad Holmes is like, yeah, all the
Brad Holmes
players.
said like this is where we thought they would like when we evaluated them like this is where we thought they would all go, which was kind of like probably a gut check, but then also it was just like crazy to hear that like he's like yeah like because they're like, did you think about taking quarterback or, some of these guys are dropping on the board? He's like, well, for us, they weren't dropping on the board. Like this is what we thought of them. So obviously, the league agreed because that's where they all went. But it's just like crazy to think about like when we talk about a premium position and just like taking chances on guys. Obviously, I was higher on like Corral than some of the other ones, and like that Pickett ends up being the one that goes after a really like lackluster career at Pittsburgh and then just like kind of explodes his senior year, like in his extra year, like at that. It's just such a weird like market, obviously.
Yeah, they had a lot of people saying Pittsburgh lost with that one, but I don't know.
I think he fits them well, for
yeah,
sure.
only time will tell. It'll be better than what they
I mean they
had.
got Pickens too, man.
Hopefully, they got
They
too many
did get
towers,
Pickens.
bro. They got Chase Claypool, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and then the tight end from Penn State, the big tight end,
Yeah,
Fryermuth, yeah.
and Najee. So I mean, like they gonna be nice on offense.
I actually liked, given the very limited amount of picks, Carolina, like they got Icky, who they've needed to tackle for a long time, and then trading up and getting Corral and the third is, I think he might be starting. Like it's gonna be a camp competition for them.
It definitely
And
is gonna be a camp competition.
realistically, you should just run him out there because if you're Matt Rule, you know what Darnold is. Maybe he's better right now, but if he shows promise, maybe you save your ass, like or something like that, right? Like kind of probably how Nagy was hoping would happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a camp competition for sure. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see.
I did not like Dallas's draft, honestly. Who usually drafts pretty well, but I
Yeah,
think
I think they not. I think even their fans wasn't big fans of their draft. I mean, they the first pick they drafted, it was a need, but I think it was probably maybe a reach.
yeah. I actually thought Green Bay drafted really well. And I know they were probably getting a lot of flack after day one after the receiver run, but I mean you leave with the second best D tackle, the second best linebacker, and then you get Christian Watson in the first pick of the second round. Like
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
yeah,
That ain't bad at all.
You know what I'm excited about, man? The Lions on paper might be the number 2 team in their division, man.
They really might.
That's what I'm excited for. I'm getting my season ticket.
Who number one?
This the year, Green Bay. I mean, it's an argument for the Vikings too, I guess.
Like Vikings too. I'm like,
I mean, they split with the Vikings, and they almost beat him in the first one too. We're gonna have to get GMAC Cash out in this bitch again. The Lions won again. Oh, I like looking at this draft. Like I know we had some losers. Like we say there's some losers. Like I think the Commanders might have low key been losers too. But they got Sam Howell in the 5th round. Like regardless of what you think of the class, like I think that's a really good bargain. They've helped fill some other positions. Jahan was a reach maybe, but like he helps your room. Like I think overall it kind of goes back to what you were saying, Tay. Like the league just got better this past weekend.
yeah, for sure. I know people like, oh, it wasn't, and then people like look into the draft next year, but depth wise and just position, it was a lot of good, a lot of teams who got good players, and even in the later rounds, in the first round, they got players at like at bargains to where they're gonna be like really good pros, and like I think that's just good for the league overall. So it should be an exciting year.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can't wait for football to come back.
Who's our other end we picked, Dre?
You talking about Josh Pascal?
Yeah, I wasn't too familiar with him.
He went to Kentucky. He was like, I don't, for what it's worth, because I don't like PFF, but I'll use it when it fits my narrative. He was like one of the higher ranked like edge rushers by PFF. But he's like, honestly, the way I think of him is he's like a shorter version of Aiden Hutchinson. Like he's 6'3", but he's still like 270, so he weighs about the same as Aiden, maybe a little bit heavier, but like elite athlete, like a 37-inch vert. He was like 90th percentile in his 10 and 20 yard split on his 40. He was like 70th percentile on his 40 in general. And he's like, he's really good against the run. He probably has to develop against the pass, but he should for sure like get rotation, like reps right at the start of the year. He can play like a true 5 and probably like even do like interior like 3-tech pass rush downs, probably like bump inside. So like probably just a versatile like guy to move up and down the line. And then they got that Jackson State outside linebacker too for like a situational pass rusher. He's kind of like Julian Okwara, kind of. He could probably stand up a little bit.
I like that linebacker too.
Yeah, he's like that's like because I was fine in the past, but like there was a lot of linesmen like drafting Kobe Dean, and the second when he's falling, and he ended up falling obviously to the third, and like. That linebacker had like elite athleticism. Like he was like a former safety, ran a 4.5, jumped I don't know how many inches in his vert. He put up like 30 like 6 on his bench or something like that. Like on his 225 reps. Like he's an elite athlete. Like if you're sub 6 foot, sub 240, like that's the type of athlete you need to be at linebacker. Like you can't be an average athlete if you're gonna be small.
Yeah, I watched some of this, not his tape, but his highlights when he got drafted. I'm like, God, he was moving.
I think he'll get a lot of reps on like special teams, obviously, and then I think he'll help like when you don't want to go to like a dime or maybe even want to be in a nickel, but you don't want a liability in pass coverage, maybe in like third down situation, but you want to defend against the run. Like he'll be good for those type of situations.
Well, fuck it, bro. If I gotta see Alonzo or whatever that name is one more time,
Anzalone,
bro. If I gotta see him out there, I'm gonna be mad, bro. I'm gonna be really mad. Put the rookie in. I don't care.
I love James Mitchell. Like I know I was thinking when the Lions when they still had both their 3rd round picks and didn't trade up yet, I was hoping they got him with their 2nd, 3rd round pick. Ended up getting him in the 5th round. So. And there's not like a ton of film available on him because most people's like cut ups are their senior year. He lost most of his senior year to tearing his ACL, but He's like a really good pass catcher, arguably just as good as Hawk is, and like a willing blocker. And like when Hawk went down, like they had to change their whole offense. So he should be able to like replicate that and be able to give them some flexibility and like running double tight. So I'm excited though, bro. They gonna win like the floor is 7-8 games.
Yeah,
The floor?
I said that
In my
too.
opinion, like I heard people talking about 5 games. Like if you look at like the Lions' opponents, like there's no way like 5 games would be acceptable. Like you'd have to be in every game this year for like 5 wins to be acceptable. And even though like they shouldn't be graded yet, like obviously like most of their like grading of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's gonna come next year. And like a season after, like in their 3rd year. Like okay, so they're playing the Commanders. Like that's a winnable game.
Duh.
Chicago, like you have to beat Chicago both times. You should win both of those games. You should take one at least from Minnesota. They're playing the Giants, the Jets, the Panthers, Jacksonville, Seattle. Like Panthers, Jacksonville, Seattle, you have to take 3 there. The Jets, like you should be in that game. The Giants, like you should be in that game. I think the Patriots, like you should be in that game. You should at least be 3-3 in the division. And then like you should compete with some of these like tougher teams. I mean, like you saw them beat the Cardinals towards the end of the year, like had a close game against Baltimore. Like you should have a good game against Miami when they come to Ford Field, or some of these other teams. Like you should be in a game with the Packers or with the Cowboys. It doesn't mean you have to win them, but like not getting blown out is
Yeah, I'll
obviously
get my
essential.
tickets. Get my tickets, boys.
But I'm excited. We got a long wait though. Until then, I just gotta watch the USFL.
USFL. Yeah, because the draft season is now the draft season. No, we gotta wait and look at camp highlights.
Right.
You got
Hard
OTA
Knocks.
highlights, OTAs, and training camp highlights.
The Lions really gonna be a Hard Knocks, bro.
That shit gonna be crazy. Hey, we gotta go to the camp, bro.
I know we
to
gotta
the
go
camp.
get on camera or some shit.
Oh.
I'm gonna bring my my jersey, my Hutchinson jersey, try to get it signed or something.
That's what you getting, the Hutch jersey, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting a Hutch jersey.
What against J-Mo?
I think I might get a St. Brown one.
Am I?
I feel like he might lead them in yards next year.
Yeah. I just don't know if I want a blue jersey or the white jerseys. I ain't got heart for it.
I'd be scared to wear the white bitches, bro. I
Or a gray one.
barely bust out my white one. I'd be scared to wear it.
We supposed to be changing our jerseys though next season. That's the
Yeah,
only thing.
they need to bring the black bitches back, bro. Them bitches are fire. Fire. Anyway, we'll wrap it up on that. Hopefully everyone enjoys your week. Have a good one. Spring's coming. Get outside.
Spring's coming.
Stretch them legs. If you work from home, make sure you go on a walk. And we'll talk to you next week. Appreciate it. Peace.
Spring's coming.